Okay, my viewers, my subscribers, yes, back with another video. Well, in another one year still. Yeah, man, them a tell about the fifth dimension, you know? Yeah, it's 'cause right now in 2023, the earth a go through a shift. Yeah, so we have to be in alignment with the earth, you know? Yeah, the vibration of the earth and everything, you see? So everything have to be in alignment, you know? So in them time, yeah, in 2023 and further around in the year, them, you know? Yeah, I forgot to show be a love and avoid the ego, you know? Yeah, avoid the side there you, you see it, and just show be a love, you know? Yeah, man. Love thy enemy as though you love thyself and them things, you see it, yeah, man. So let's check out that one here still and let me know what you guys think, alright?
Dimension. This is often called 5D Earth or New Earth. So, there is an Earth ascension happening, but our bodies are also going through the same shift, some people sooner than others. This is leading to ascension symptoms as our DNA is being upgraded. This is because, as spiritual beings, we operate on vibration, frequency, and energy levels. So, to experience life on a divine energy frequency, you must go through a journey of spiritual awakening. The 3D, or the third dimension, consciousness is the physical world in which we live, known to everyone. The 5D, also known as the fifth dimension, is the non-physical world, a level of consciousness that is only experienced by the spiritually awakened. Ascension is the process of raising your vibration, shedding your ego, and gaining control of your future through an elevated level of consciousness. Based on your birth chart, which is a calculation of your place of birth, time of birth, rising sign, you can determine your ascendant, also called rising sign. Why do I need to know this, you may ask? Simply put, your ascendant sign helps you figure out your purpose in life. Learning more about your numerology is also an excellent way of finding your life path. However, the journey from 3D to 5D often takes a toll on both your body and mental health. This is because, in the process of spiritual awakening, your senses are heightened to adjust to new frequencies. Spiritually awakened people operate on energy vibrations that vary based on dimensions. As you ascend to 5D consciousness, you will experience several changes, physically and emotionally. Don't be alarmed, this is normal. Typically, for ascension to occur, you must have undergone some type of shadow work. Nevertheless, there are experiences everyone on an awakening journey goes through. The ascension symptoms can be physical, emotional, or spiritual. Some people get affected a lot. They might be going from doctor to doctor, but none of them can find anything wrong. Well, unfortunately, doctors don't learn about ascension sickness in school. Have you ever found your mind awakening and opening to the reality that there is more to life than you can perceive? If this is true, then you may be undergoing 5D ascension symptoms. If you are a light worker, or starseed, this is more likely to happen, as you incarnated here to guide humanity through the 5D shift. The feeling of spiritual ascension might cause you to feel worry, confusion, or dread. If that is the case for you, don't be afraid. It's all part of the vibrational shift we're going through now. With that being said, here are the 11 signs you are already in the 5D. Number 1. You stop judging yourself and others in 5D Earth. You have less ego in 5D and only experience the higher emotions, so you don't tap into the lower ones anymore. You came to Earth to experience the lower emotions, but now the time is coming to an end where they are no longer needed for your soul's growth. Your higher self doesn't judge any emotion as good or bad. It sees it as neutral and as guidance to help you along your way. It's our human minds that judge these emotions as well as ourselves and others. In 5D you don't judge others based on things such as race, religion, gender, beliefs, and so on. You accept people for who they are and know that the differences make them unique and special. You also see this in yourself as well and don't judge yourself for being different. In 5D you know that we are from the third dimension to the fifth dimension.
You are God, and the devil is the ego. Notice how the ego is the one who tells you that you are not worthy, that you aren't enough. It's the ego who causes anxiety. It's the devil who causes fear and worry. Hell is not a realm we go to after we die. Hell is simply a state of mind. If you are still identified with thoughts and still a slave to the ego, Your life will be like a living hell. Hell is the only place where we suffer. The mind is the only reason for our suffering. That's why it's so hard to stay in the present moment. That's why there is so much resistance towards clearing the mind. Because when you do so, you are entering heaven. And the ego, the devil, doesn't want to die. Because hell cannot exist in the present moment. Suffering does not exist here. The ego will try its hardest to keep you from knowing that you are God, because it knows it will die if you awaken. God is consciousness. You and I are consciousness, and we are that one consciousness. There is only one God. There is only one consciousness, and it's who we truly are. Once you awaken and return back to your true being, you will experience heaven on earth. That is the only place it exists. Heaven is here. It's a state of being. It's where peace and love is discovered. It's when you realize that you are peace, love, spaciousness, joy, and so much more. Break free from hell. I know it's difficult, but you don't understand yet how powerful you are. It is time for you to awaken to the truth and become free from the devil. If you want a more detailed explanation on you being God and your ego being the devil, I have a video out right now on my YouTube channel that explains this perfectly. Link in bio.
When is the world going to end?
The world already ended.
Already ended.
Ended a long time ago. You're actually living in a post-apocalyptic era, and you've been brainwashed to believe that you're living in some type of utopia, but you're living in a dystopian future. You're living in a post-apocalyptic future that you are completely unaware of.
The world already ended?
Yeah, the world definitely already ended. I go into this in the book called Fams. It's not out yet, but yeah, this has already been revealed. I mean, the world has already ended, but you've been convinced that it hasn't. Because in order to keep the matrix going, we have to believe that this is a good thing for us. And that we live in the best of times, and that's why they tell you things like that.
But
you want to know about this civilization, right? This post-apocalyptic civilization. You want to know how long you got to be here.
Yes, how much time do we have left in this civilization?
So you really have until about 2028 or 2030. So you have a little bit of time, and then everything that's happening now since about around 2008. There's a book on this. There's many books on this. This stuff is not a secret, because you got to remember the Matrix is like a clock. It's going through the same cycles, the same machine, and it's always going to come up to a point of self-destruction because it's unsustainable. That's what this matrix or this civilization is. And when it gets there, we're always going to have the option to leave or to reset the clock, right? And so we're at the point where it's going to fall apart, and then we're going to be asked, right, the people who are here to change the world forever, do you want to start this again, or do you want to create something better? So we're all attracted to what's familiar, so normally we choose to create something that we've already been in. And
so what should we do to prepare?
So what the things that we should do to prepare is one, start listening to God. God writes through nature. The trees, the animals. You can read the books, that's fine, the sacred books, but you should definitely read nature. That's where the oldest knowledge of God lies. I was definitely given a message to give to you called The First Book. You should definitely read that. That's a more spiritual guide. But then another book's coming called Fams, and this book is going to tell you specifically what to do. Yes, Fams. Food, forest, foraging, hunting, anti-fragile modern society.
Wow. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Every single one that are doing the abductions on people are clones. They're robots. They're not. They don't have an essence. They don't have a soul in them. They're robots. Does everybody follow me so far? Okay. The Greys have a problem. They're dying. This is why they basically are here. Now we, as a planetary race, offer them a great opportunity to possibly save their race. But it isn't working. And I'll explain why that is. The Greys themselves, however, have two agendas, at least two agendas. One is to save their race, and the other is to try to help us evolve. Now I know how that sounds, but let me explain to you the position that they're in and how it's been related to me. The Greys are controlled by a group in Orion. Now the Orion group is made up of 9 different races. They are dark. There are some in Orion that are light, but those that are here are dark. They're regressive. They're into control, domination. They do not want us to evolve. And I'll explain why that is, because we hold a polarity of third density. Third density in our spectrum of our universe was an experiment. We are an experiment. But as long as we hold the polarity of third density, they are in control of third density. If we evolve to 4 and to 5 density, there's no longer a third density. Does everybody follow me? Everything becomes light, which is what it originally was. It doesn't become this. It becomes light. Even though it is light now. It vibrates at such a low frequency that it's absolute solid matter. There's a lot of us in the universe stuck in third density. We were not supposed to be in this position, in this density, this long. Many have got addicted to third density, to the physicality of it, to the idea of, if you'll pardon my expression, a sexual orgasm in third density, forgetting what it's like to have a spiritual type of an experience, which is similar to it. Now, here's what happened. The Greys are not only doing this in our system, but this is also going on in 23 other systems in our galaxy. The same scenario, but it's not quite as bad as it is here. Now, the Greys have been totally controlled by the Orions. Since they're dying, there is literally no chance of them breaking free. In other words, they have nowhere to go. The only chance they have to break free from the Orion group is if we evolve. Because if we evolve, this being the neutral point, this being absolute positivity, this being absolute negativity. We are approximately halfway here. If we can evolve, it's not a question of just moving this way any longer. Because everything is in balance. Everything is a polarity. No matter how far you go into the dark, when you flip, you go exactly the same place to the light. So, if we rotate, if we can evolve, if we make the decision to evolve, we will literally move to this position here. Literally changing everything in the middle. Just like that. We will have an effect on everything in our galaxy. Everything. Now, there are wars breaking out all over our galaxy. Apparently, the Andromedans, the Pleiadians, a group from Cirrus-A, Arcturians, and a group from Tau Ceti, did a study or some kind of a research project. And they decided the quickest way to resolve all of these conflicts was to change the vibration of our solar system. Because our solar system holds the polarity of war. And that doesn't mean we're at fault and we created those other things.
Chosen ones, you are currently living in the greatest ultimate test right now. Everything and everyone is testing you. You are under judgment. The Most High is testing you. Your ancestors are testing you. Your higher self, your lower self is testing you. And these dark forces are testing you. They're testing your character. They're testing to see how strong you are. They're testing to see if you are who you really say you are, or you are who you think you are. They're testing to see if you can prevail through all the darkness, all the hardships, all the obstacles that have been thrown at you. They're testing to see if you can really make this shift and unlock your gifts. And I'm going to be straight up with y'all. Not everyone has a soul. Some people are just spirits, and some people aren't even real. They're just AI robots, synthetic Mach 5 robots. And most of these people are on the TV screens. They're just programs there to misguide you and distract you from who you really are, from what you should really be focusing on. But anyway, right, when it comes to tapping in with self, when it comes to tapping into your gifts, tapping into your supernatural abilities, everything you see in Avengers, X-Men, anime, all these shows, all these movies that reveal the truth. What you got to understand is if you are someone like me and you are of the Anunnaki, you come from Planet X, Nibiru, Sirius X, whatever you want to call it, right? These things are already within you. You just forgot who you were. You forgot what you were capable of, let alone the fact that you were born into a planet that was so dense, so low vibrational, so demonic. It makes it impossible to tap into. Not to the human beings, right? Some of you guys have souls. Some of you guys are just spirits. But don't get me wrong. You are capable of the things I speak of. But you're going to have to do a whole lot of learning and evolving. It's going to be hard for you, but you can do it. But for us, on the other hand, right? This is already within us. We just forgot. We have to remember. We got to tap in with self. Now, when it comes to this great war that's currently going on this planet, it's just good versus evil at this point, okay? To any of the human beings who are spirits, and you're out here fully awakened and you're serving humanity, you're high vibrational, you're on mission, kudos to you. You will be granted a soul. But regardless of who you are, I love you and you are powerful. I was kind of hesitant on making this video because it's raw. You know, people aren't going to agree with me. People's feelings might get hurt, but that's okay because I'm not here to people please. I'm just here to be a